For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but for those who are being saved, it is the power of God. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, the intelligence of the intelligent I will frustrate. That's 1 Corinthians 1:18-19. I bring that up because we're seeing division every day, not just in the world, but in the church. It's been happening for really thousands of years. I mean, you go back to the Reformation and movements that were intended to preserve the foundations of Christianity, which were to be many versions of Christ, turned into something else. And then it's just really divided the church with so many different denominations that Christians can't even come together on the centrality of the cross. And, Paul talks about it's not about Apollos or Cephas or Paul who did this or that. It's what Christ did on the cross. But we worship all of these Reformed writers, all these theologians, and we talk about them. Calvin's a big one. Luther's a big one. But we talk more about them in the theology, which is really the gathering of human minds interpreting Scripture a certain way and losing the simplicity and the mercy and the grace and the love that was shown on the cross. And all it's doing is dividing us and making it easier for the secular world to poke holes in the truth of who Jesus Christ is. And later on it says, Jews demand signs, Greeks search for wisdom. And that the message of Christ being crucified is a stumbling block for the Jews and foolishness to the Greeks. It's foolishness to those who are wise in their own eyes, and it's a stumbling block to those who are expecting a conquering hero and to be giving a higher platform in this world so they could rule over it, really perverting what God's blessings were intended to be, so that they could be a blessing to others. We are blessed to be a blessing, and when we start putting our own interpretation and spin on things and attributing it to teachings from those that lived before us, it doesn't matter if it loses the heart of what Christ did on the cross. We are all saved by grace through faith in that act of mercy on the cross. We are saved by His blood, nothing else. And then we're to boast about that unashamedly. For I am not ashamed of the cross. And that's what Paul boastfully says. He will not boast about anything but only boast in the Lord and what He did. But we have this underlying boastfulness of our take being right. And as soon as you get into any area of pride or butting heads on some argument that takes away from the power of the cross, you've already lost. I get mad at myself when I respond in any type of way that lacks grace or patience in a situation where I may be in the right standing, I may be in a righteous position, at least in my own interpretation, but if I don't respond with grace and love, it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong about, that particular point, because that's what Jesus displayed on the cross. So we get so divided so easily, we're putty in the hands of the enemy, because we get so prideful about our position theologically or through human wisdom. And we forget Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Throw our understanding out of the way. We beg and we kneel down at the foot of the cross in thanks and gratitude and point everyone there, hoping that they'll kneel with us before they don't have a chance. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, the intelligence of the intelligent I will frustrate. We have to remember that. There's a lot of people who are frustrated right now, and on both ends of the spectrum. The only way through that frustration is for them to see and feel the love of Jesus Christ that we can offer despite whatever's being thrown at us, taking our own opinions and humanistic wisdom out and just sharing the love of Christ, which is not being fearful and ashamed to point out the sinful condition of man and the truth that lies behind that, but we do it in a loving manner so that even if it's rejected, the seed is planted firmly and boldly, but with love and grace. That's what Christ showed. That's why He went to the cross. But it was an act of mercy. So anyway, with everything going on in the world, Hezbollah, Hamas leaders getting shot down, Israel taking the credit, and who knows what's about to happen on the world stage. Seek Jesus today. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow.